American. Now, let's talk about something, okay? Let's talk about Charlie Kirk. Now, I haven't talked about Charlie Kirk in a little minute. I love touching back on some of these guys because I just want to see what they're up to. I want to keep up with them. They're my best friends, okay? Friend of the stream, Charlie Kirk. I think one of the last times we checked up on him, wasn't it that Vosh and Charlie Kirk debate? That was the last time we checked up on him on the YouTube channel. On Twitch, we did more stuff, but that's because we touch on a lot of stuff that doesn't make it to YouTube. For just YouTube frogs, you are missing out on a fair amount. But I mean, that's your prerogative, okay? That being said, Charlie Kirk recently had one of his shows a couple of days ago, and he talked about a couple of things. He said that we have a new lost generation, a generation that's completely lost to things like video games, homosexuality, and the big sad. And he wraps all of that in together because these days we are cringe and we don't read our Bibles as much, which, you know, that is definitely an idea that a human being can hold. Oh yeah, and Kirk versus that other comedian where he got dolphined. Now that was good. Is this just more shitting on young people? Hell yeah. Let's go check up on Charlie Kirk, okay? What he has to say about this generation and how he feels, because his opinion is very important.
I want to start this hour off with a study that was done by Arizona Christian University. They do this study every single year.
Okay, so this is Arizona Christian University, okay? And here's the thing. Personally, as a religious person myself, I would like some of my information to come from less biased sources because I don't like to get information from it's like family.org or something that does a lot of these studies, you know, Christian universities that can do some of these studies. I'm not saying they're like dumb or anything, but there can be a lot of bias, and it's been shown in some of these studies that bias comes out in their methodology and the way that they collect data, which is unfortunate, but you know, we'll just see. We'll just see what they had to say.
And it's nonpartisan in nature, and it's just surveying millennials, young people, increasingly older, obviously everyone gets older, and kind of what their stance is on the world. Before I go into this, I just want to say there are some numbers in this document that are shocking.
Shocking, guys. Hold on to your horses. Buckle your jammies. We're going to get into some crazy... Why is his hat... I'm sorry. Why is his hat like that? Why is his hat like... sitting on his head like that? You know what I mean? Just look at it. It looks way too big. For some reason, this hat made his face look even smaller. You know what I mean? I feel like he can fit two heads in there. It's just sitting on his head way too low, and it's crooked. I wear my hats crooked all the time. Why? Why do you hate people? He's hiding his 5 head? Yeah, that's true. There's another little face? Oh my geez. Do you think he switches them? He switches the faces every now and again just to confuse us. They're like, oh, his face looks normal here. Wait, it's super small here. He just switches them, just flips them over, spins it like a Beyblade. Okay, I have this to say. Why do the proportions of his face look so bad? Like, he looks like the guy in the Little Bits commercials. Bodied, bro. He's just weird. He's just strange.
Even for someone who deals with young people, beyond shocking. And I hope that every single parent out there and grandparent thinks and prays deeply about what I'm about to share with you.
He's scared, okay? Wait, what do you think that he's going to pull up? Like, take a guess, okay? And you guys in chat, take a guess. YouTube people who may be watching this right now, you take a guess. Tell me, what do you think that he's going to pull up? What do you think that he's going to read that is going to be so absolutely destructive that everybody needs to take a moment because the country is going to fall apart? Porn, dicks, that's definitely something. The gay is getting superpowers. Oh geez, it's growing. It's metastasizing. Marriage numbers going down. Probably LGBT statistics and how many people identify. True. Femboys. He's pulling up Rule 34. Yeah, he just looks at furry vor porn and he's like, look at this. This is what they're doing these days. The lost generation. He's gonna read. He found the entire gay agenda. I thought it was like the Krabby Patty secret formula, man. Yeah, how'd he get his hands on that? White people? White people. Let's see.
Because if these trends don't fix, if these trends don't correct themselves, the country will fall apart in a decade. And that's
10 years. That's all we got, okay? We have 10 years to reverse these trends or else it's all over for us.
Being doom and gloom, if these numbers are true.
He's dooming.
So let's start with this one. I find if these numbers...
What the fuck? Wait a second. What's wrong with you? Why are you so wasteful? Why'd you print out this page with all of this ink? Look how much ink he wasted. That paper is goddamn saturated. Why'd you print it out like that? Why'd you waste all that ink? You didn't need that. Why don't you just write it down on a piece of paper or something? Or like copy pasta the statistics. Why'd you pull up the entire fucking page and dump an entire cartridge of ink on it? Because this is all that we see of it. It's not here anymore.
So let's start with this one. I find this incredibly hard to believe. 39% of 18 to 24-year-olds in America identify as lesbian or gay or bisexual.
No. No, it's the gay gap. No. So here's one thing that's interesting about this. And I'm not saying this to like invalidate anybody, okay? Most of those people are bi, and most of those people typically don't engage in anything explicitly homosexual a lot of the time. A lot of people just kind of are like, yeah, I'm kind of attracted to some people of the same sex. They're kind of cute, and so they identify as bi, you know? Which, once again, it's not a problem if they like do or don't. I'm just saying that a lot of people try to pretend like that means everyone is like having a like quadruple orgy every single day, when it's just kind of not true. When it's just kind of not true. But that's fine. Like, once again, that's fine. Do your thing, chief. But the big gay for 1,000, 39%. It is 39%. If I remember correctly, like people who say they're like 100% gay is like relatively pretty low, 2 to 5%, if I remember correctly, which I mean, it's just like interesting. And the people who call themselves like 100% straight too is smaller than what you would expect. There are a lot of people who have like some attractions to some people who are the same sex as them. That's kind of like normal. That's typically what normal human beings feel. Just we make ourselves feel bad about it sometimes. You have a source for the study he's using? I don't need a source. I don't need a source for the study he's using. He said the Arizona Christian University or something. I could probably look it up. I feel like there's no real reason to. We could. Shark the bisexual streamer. I'm legally bi.
39%.
Dunzo.
You know, this was kind of the great lie of the gay movement, wasn't it? Which was like, oh yeah, we just have to give equal rights, and then it's just going to be a non-issue.
What is he talking about? Like... His fucking face, dude. I'm sorry, I can't get over his hat. Look at his head. His hat too big for he god dang head, and just the way it's sitting on him. I can't take this man seriously. I can never take this man seriously, but like here, I can absolutely not take him seriously. I just can't. Just look at him, dude. Yo, what is the issue? Does he think that, oh no, we gave them rights and now the bi is just creeping across the land at like blight or something? Like, what are you talking about? What's your problem here? I don't know, just some people identify more as like bi. Bi people exist because gay marriage. That's true. If we didn't give them god dang rights, they would stop being themselves. And that's good, because I hate them. I'm a very normal human being.
Then why is it that more people in every generation are identifying as gay?
You think they're being does he think that they're being like brainwashed or something? Does he think that they're putting chemicals in the water that turns the heckin' Gen Z gay? Is that what's in the water fountain at school? Is that what makes Dasani bottles taste like that?
39% of 18 to 24-year-olds identify as LGBTQ. 39%.
If I keep saying the number, it gets scarier every time. He's just like PJW. You know when we went over that Paul Joseph Watson video and he kept going, burgers, every 10 minutes, burgers. Like, if I keep saying it, it just gets more spooky.
Only 1/3 of millennials claim to believe in God. 1/3 of millennials.
See, and here's the thing as well. Are they talking about like Christianity specifically? Because you could be invalidating, and there could be like Jewish people in there. There could be like Muslim people in there. If you're saying God, you could be leaving out some other religions as well. There are still a very decent amount of like religious people around. And bud, listen, okay, if you want more people to be religious, treating them like this is not how you do it. All right. Treating them like this is not how you do it. Like you treat them like cancer, like blight on the land. This is not how you get more people to be religious. All right. I can promise you that. I wish it's like 17 people, like 1/3 of 17 people. Yeah. Can you imagine? Here, honestly, survey. Let's see. No Torah, only Jesus. Yeah, I can 100% see them being like, we're not going to accept like any other religion except for, they are a Christian university once again. And that's where I'm saying like this, this like bias comes in, right? What Americans find attractive about Marxism? This is a study that they did. Wait a second, I'm getting bamboozled a little bit. An alarming number of US adults, especially young Americans, are embracing key tenets of the Marxist worldview based in red pill, including negative views of property rights, individual economic success, and traditional moral values. Bro, everyone's being a communist. No. Millennials 18 to 37 are millennials aren't. Wait, when was this made? September? People who are 18 are not millennials. Am I dumb, stupid, and dumb? I'm pretty sure people who are millennials right now are not 18. 18-year-olds right now are Zoomers. I'm a Zoomer and I'm 22. So the people younger than me are not millennials. So this is super curious. how they're lumping in, like, are these people so fucking old they still think millennials are 18? Like, has time not moved for them like this? Are they just completely forgotten that time is moving linearly? You know, they're not 18, chief, but okay. Are far more likely than older adults to hold such beliefs, creating concerns that shifting worldviews among younger Americans will continue to fuel the growth of support of Marxism and offshoots such as critical race theory. No, wait, this is the university that you're quoting from? No way. Ah, yes, the Marxism keeps growing, and if they keep growing, massive offshoots from the mother plant will sprout up across the land, like race relations can be bad, slavery happened, evil things like that, bro. Oh my goodness, calm down. What a child. These are actual researchers. Can I find this? I want to see if I can find this specifically, the one that he pulled up. LGBT. Oh geez. Self-described Christian, 69%. Nice. 72% argue that people are basically good. 71% can consider feelings, experience, or inputs from family members to be trusted sources of guidance. The most contentious issues in the political elections tend to be categorized as social issues, abortion, gay rights, and shit like that. Okay. Socialism. I can't even find this study that he's trying to pull up. LG barbecue. Millennials in America, is this it? Once again, apparently they don't know what the hell millennials are in the first place, so that's something. Oh wait, I think this is it. Here's the massive fucking red page. Dumped an entire canister of printer ink on. Record-breaking number 40% in the don'ts category. The don'ts? What is this? Oh, that they don't, okay. They're not religious, okay. Liberal progressive, 40%, conservative, 29%. We gotta drop those boys. We gotta drop them numbers even faster. Very satisfied, intimate relationships and friendships. Least satisfied, the state of the nation. All right, be that way. That's true. 3 out of 4 millennials believe that all religious faiths are of equal value. I mean, that's cute. 7 out of 10 millennials claim that they are willing to sacrifice their life for something. Is this true? Would you guys put your life on the line for something? Is that true? What would you guys put your life on the line for? How many bullets are you taking, and what is it for? Be honest with me. My dogs? You take a bullet for your dog? Not much. I was kind of thinking the same thing. I feel like lots of people are like, hell yeah, I'd die for something. And then you go to them and they're like, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Wait, lifestyle. Oh, here we go. What's worth sacrificing your life for? Family members, friends, your freedom, your religious faith, your country, most cherished possessions, my PS5. That's worth sacrificing my life for, guys. This is interesting. Okay, so I think we've gotten a good grasp on what these people are. Very esteemed, very acclaimed, very reputable source that university is, right? Why is this bit a bad thing? They're dumb. They're a little dumb.
Number of 40% of young adults say that they have a don't perspective. People who don't know if God exists, don't care if God exists, and don't believe that he exists.
Bro, I gotta be honest. Even like me as a me as a religious person, and I've like folded people into the faith before, but with that being said, you guys y'all ain't helping yourselves with the way you treat people. You really aren't. Like I have said this before, like I had to leave one of the last churches that me and my family went to because they were just garbage. They're just bad. They were just pretty bad people. For one, the pastors were driving fucking expensive ass sports cars into the lot, and I didn't think that my tithe was going to good places because the tithe is supposed to help the community. They're supposed to be a pretty non-profit. Like obviously some people need to be paid for the time that they spend, but with that being said, like a lot of that money is supposed to go for like helping the community, and there are lots of things that we have, and I have not seen them do that work. Okay, that, and they banned queer people from being a part of their like higher up in recruiting status, which I just can't get behind. I'm sorry, I just can't get behind these like massive mega churches that use my faith as a get rich quick scheme, and that's how it felt. So I don't want to give them money. The sample size was only 600? Really? Only 600 people? That's cute.
Millennials surveyed, according to this study, call themselves very liberal or progressive when 29% say they are conservative.
Pog. It's about the family. It's the family. You guys aren't helping yourselves with the way you're treating people, all right? People are like, man, being conservative, you gotta harbor a lot of hate in your heart. It's just not cute.
Further, those who think of themselves as Democrats outnumber those who identify as Republican by a 2-to-1 margin.
Pog.
3 out of 4 millennials said that they are still searching for their purpose in life. Well, that's pretty obvious because we sent so many millennials to college, which is a place where your soul and your dreams largely go to die.
Bro, what? Here, and that could be a little true, but it's not because of college. It's because of the way that the system treats them. They get massive over encumbered with debt. They get thrown out into the workforce, and they get a really poor wages. You get the first taste of life, and you're like, man, this kind of sucks. And I'm sorry, it's really hard to find a purpose in life when you're working paycheck to paycheck, and it's hard to get a better job because you don't. Because no one's paying any better, and you're just kind of shit out of luck. I'm sorry, and a lot of people get their degrees and are able to do a lot of the stuff that they've wanted to do. I'm sorry, just because college didn't work out for you and you became some shitlord who spews right-wing talking points for money, not everyone can do that. Not everyone can do that. All right. So with that being said, I would like people to be able to achieve their dreams a little bit more. All right. I would love for people to be able to achieve their dreams, but the system doesn't allow them. The system that you would want wouldn't allow them to either, because once you fall through the cracks, you're done. It's like you're playing hardcore. You're jump running across the plains in Minecraft, and then you accidentally hop into a ravine, bro. You're done. You're donezo. All right. You're playing Morio, and and there's a Kaizo block. That's what his political ideology is, basically. One big Kaizo block.
Issues listed by
Why the fuck is it? Wait, why is he reading it like that? Are you just flabbergasted? Can you not understand what's going on? Look at him. He's struggling so hard to read. It's hurting him.
Issues listed by millennials that have little importance. 2% importance, income inequality and redistribution, rule of law, media standards.
I would say it is weird how they have a better opinion of socialism, but then what's not important is wealth inequality and redistribution. I just don't. This kind of tells me that those people kind of don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're saying. And, that's cute and everything. I'm happy that you guys have a positive view and, Karl Marxist. But at the same time, you kind of, I feel like you don't know what you're talking about.
Most important issue for millennials. Think about this. This is how propaganda is there. The number one most important issue is coronavirus management. I've actually found this. I find that some young people are way more worried about the Fauci virus than people over the age of 60 because they...
The Fauci virus. Well, yeah, dude, I'm sorry. Their grandparents and their parents are dying from COVID. I would imagine that those people would definitely... And if you're talking about millennials here, because the way they define millennial is just dumb as hell. But if we're talking about actual millennials here, their parents and their grandparents are pretty up there in age. And a lot of them are passing away because of COVID. Yeah, that's really important. And yeah, they're losing some years of their life because of COVID restrictions and lockdowns, and they want to be over COVID. That's a really big thing. It's incredible. They've moved on from the China virus, and now it's Fauci's problem. Now it's the Fauci ouchie. Okay, it's the jokey pokey. That's the real problem. It's the juice jab. Joe Juice. Really? They're calling it Joe Juice? Fauci ouchie. That is fun to say. You're right. I like Joe Juice. That's the first time I'm hearing that one. I love these names that they're coming up with. I swear, Trump got into office and he made some alliteration, and then they all went for just they're I love alliteration now.
Name is very real.
Climate change, second most important issue for millennials.
Good. That's really important. Gen X and boomers and the silent generation done fucked up. Okay. Yeah. Now we have to deal with this. So yeah, that is pretty important.
Third one, racial discrimination. Give me a break.
Racial discrimination. Who cares about that shit? Okay, buddy. Listen, we all know you don't give a shit about brown people, all right? But don't sit here and pretend like you ever did. Give me a break. Racism? Who cares? All right, bud. I mean, really showing your hand there. Man, with that, I know a lot of brown people are just, they're loving to run to the Republicans as soon as possible. Give me a break.
A majority admit to feeling daily anxious, depressed, or fearful.
Bro, have you seen what people post on Twitter? Of course I feel anxious. What the hell are you talking about? Have you seen the state of the world every once in a while, bro? I know you like a lot of the bad things that are happening, but for me personally, I don't like the bad things that are happening. Listen, bro, we talked about this before. People keep saying that people on the further left you go, the more poor your mental health can become. I think the really big reason is because those same studies, people, the further left you go, the more empathy you typically have, and the more empathy you have when looking at the world. Okay, so a conservative would walk by a like Skid Row or a homeless encampment and be like, I can't wait for these fucking disgusting heathens, these subhuman freaks, to be swooped up off of the street and thrown in jail for being so gross. They're ruining my property value. And that's what would distress them. Like a left-wing person would walk by like a homeless encampment and feel distressed because of the people who would genuinely be suffering there. And like a far righty would obviously feel anxious because there's brown people in the there's brown people there, right? And even like a lot of libs would feel that same way too. And a lot of libs would absolutely be like, man, that sucks. What sucks even worse is how these freaks are destroying my property value. That too. So obviously when you have less empathy for other human beings, of course you feel less anxious and upset when other human beings are suffering. That makes perfect sense to me. You care less. I'm sorry. It's not my fault that I care more about people than you do. That's not my fault. That's yours.
So basically you have the most liberal, the most depressed generation, but I have to say this study is actually very confirming for me and for our show. You might say, Charlie, how could you say that? Well, they're the most miserable, the most godless, least godly. That's the way to put it. They're the least godly generation in American history, and they're the most depressed. Obviously, you have no relationship with the transcendent or with God. You're going to be depressed, anxious, and fearful. You don't know your place in the world. 3 out of 4.
It's so spooky. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people also don't know their place. What your place is has started to mean different things. Because back in time, knowing your place would be like having a job and buying a home and having kids, and that was like your place. Our idea of what your place is a lot more broad and a lot more specific, and can be a lot more fulfilling, but can be less fulfilling for lots of people because they can't achieve that goal a lot of the times because of the work that they're in, because of the cost of education, debt, and social safety nets crumbling. That's that I would 100% feel that. What our place is just changing. What we think of our place is changing. Empathy, the fuck is that? The fuck is that? Yeah, that's Charlie.
Millennials say they don't know their place in life. It's because we've decided to destroy God in society.
God is not destroyed in society. There are very strong churches still around. How about you start accepting God's children and not demonizing them?
America has become more secular. It has become less free.
That's untrue. Like what? So us having more ways to express ourselves without being evil apparently makes us less free. Oh yeah, he did say on stage that getting like weed mailed to your house is basically slavery. So I mean, it makes sense.
Only 26% of millennials say that your country, America, is worth sacrificing for.
Bro, I'm sorry, bro. America doesn't take care of a lot of people, all right? Why the hell am I gonna put my life on the line for this shit if it doesn't take care of me? Why? What has bitch ever done for me? I grew up in it, but I didn't make that choice.
26% of millennials say that they would sacrifice anything for their country. Only 41% say that they would sacrifice anything for their freedoms. Only 29% of millennials say that they are satisfied with their life.
What do you want them to do? Bro, I'm sorry. Like, I remember back when Charlie Kirk was talking to a room full of women, and he said, I have your purpose in life, girls. If all of you women got a husband today and you bred like rabbits, we'd be able to overtake the population of Wyoming in a single generation. And they were like, woo, yeah, I'm sorry, more people want a little bit more out of life than just that, okay, than being a baby farm. And if you want to be a baby farm, that's great, okay? That's sick. That's pog even. But there are more avenues that people would like to explore than just that. And it's hard to sometimes.
Whereas 31% say they are not satisfied with their life. The country, being an American, 15% of millennials say they are proud to be an American. 15%.
Just you repeating the words doesn't make them more spooky. Why would you want to feel like proud to be an American if you see like all of the problems that for one, America as a country has gotten up to, and two, like how it doesn't take care of people? Why are we the richest country in the world and experiencing like so many problems? Why are we holding 25% of the nation's 25% of the world's imprisoned human beings? Why? What's happening? We're struggling, man. We're struggling. So what are we gonna do? Obviously, people don't feel happy about that. Make the country better, and maybe they will.
As I mentioned, 1/3 of millennials describe themselves as being LGBTQ, 39%. 39%.
He's still hung up on that, bro. He's still hung up on that. Just Charlie, listen, think of it like this, okay? Wherever you are, because of that 39%, if you download and load up Grinder, you could be catching bussy and cock almost instantly, chief. Okay, what is he? He's like 6'5" or something. He's huge, isn't he? People like that. People like that. He'd you can get something going with him and his wife, you know.
It's 3 times the proportion identified among the combined older adults in the generation. This is the gayest generation in American history.
And there it is, boys. Roll credits. We have reached the most homo generation. And here's the dumbest thing about this phrase, the gayest generation. Every generation moving into the future was the gayest generation. More people's lives become more like socially acceptable. The amount of people who identify as gay, which once again, apparently he's lumping in everyone in LGBTQ as just gay, which is not true. The more you move into the future, every single generation is more gay. The silent generation was the gayest generation. Boomers were the gayest generation. Gen X was the gayest generation. Millennials were the gayest generation. Gen Z is probably going to be the gayest generation as well. It's just dumb. Like, what are you talking about? Straights are dying, bro. No, please, anything but this. On my way to do gay shit, calm down.
And that's not a slur, by the way. It's not a slander. It's just the way it is.
Was he thinking that was a slur? Did he have a slur on his mind? It's not a slur. It just beat away. It is.
They're the gayest generation in American history. It's what the study says. How about capitalism? Now, this is actually not awful, I guess. Well, it's actually really bad.
He's going to cry.
In 2017, 44% say they preferred socialism to communism. That's 2017.
What? Did he mean to say capitalism? 44% prefers socialism to communism? What?
This one, 48. So it went down a point.
Is capitalism not even on the chart anymore? They're not even talking about capitalism anymore. It's -%, okay? -% of people want capitalism. Now we're just debating socialism and communism. Bro, I think he may be misspeaking. I'm not sure.
4 out of 10 young adults, according to this study, say they are liberal on social issues like abortion and same-sex marriage, while 3 out of 10 say they hold a conservative view on those matters.
No, good. But put those numbers down.
Accept America's enemies as their enemies. Join the military to defend the nation if called.
Oh, geez. Accept America's enemies as their enemies? Bro, have you ever heard of like the Korean and Vietnam War? Like us as a nation have not accepted America's enemies as our enemies. The government of America and the people of the United States are two different bodies. I'm sorry. Whatever like the higher ups and the generals, whatever country they want to bomb, more likely than not, they've done nothing to me. They are not my enemy. Just because they say this country bad does not mean I hate them. Like, I'm sorry. Like if what he's looking for is not people to think for themselves. What he's looking for is complete and utter compliance with what the government says. And it's really weird how now he's like on the, I can't believe people don't listen to the government and just blindly rage at whatever we say, whatever we point our big stick at. Like, come on, bro. Think a little bit harder about that. I think we got just about as much as we need from this. He's going to keep reading and he's going to keep being incredibly sad. Wait, let me skip to the end. Let's see.
We're going to keep diving into this. I think it's super interesting. And we're going to also tell the answer. We're going to answer the question, why? The answer is super obvious. It's the most college-educated generation in American history.
Okay. Okay. Stop going to college. Stop going to college. Be dumb. Plow the field. Pump out baby. That's what you do. Do a little jig to your banjo, and that's what life should be. Is this his Amprim arc? Is he going just straight, we have to return to monkey mode? We need to be like squatting in the forest, building like mud huts, and that's what's going to make us happier? Is it really that hard for you to treat other human beings as human beings? I don't know how I was raised to love all people, but maybe that's where our teachings diverged, Charlie. All right? Maybe that's where our teachings diverged. Is he going to read the Unabomber manifesto? Maybe. He may be like, it's obvious. The answer is obvious. I would like to read something from someone the media called the Unabomber. All right, bud, chill. Wait, calm down. Whoa, bud, whoa, slow down, chief. Slow down. What a weirdo, dude. We live in the gayest generation. How's it feel?